Alright guys, 2014 Harley Davidson Fatboy, brought to me by a customer, good friend of mine from work. Guy wound up having heart surgery and his bike sat up for about 2 years. It had ethanol fuel in it filled to the top and it sat for 2.5 years. I can't stress it enough. If you're gonna have something that you're not gonna drive a lot, motorcycle, boat, project ride, put non-ethanol fuel in it. Ethanol fuel hates your internals. Hates it. This right here. See that? That is what the whole inside of this tank looked like. The ethanol fuel ate the factory tank liner and ate every piece of metal in here. When I pulled out the factory fuel tank, these plastic lines just disintegrated in my hands. There's gunk and buildup all over this thing. Think a new Fatboy tank, around $1,000. Took this to a local place called Kim's Radiators here in Sulphur, Louisiana. They charged us a little over $100. They washed the inside of it, put us a new coating. That's what this bluish purple, I don't know, colorblind stuff is. They put a new coating on it. Word of advice, potentially, it can mess up your paint. This bike already had a few scratches on it. So I'm actually going to repaint this bike all black. He wants to eliminate the side badges. But for right now, I'm going to show you guys how to handle these guts of the inside of this tank. You have your sending unit full of gas, no gas. Full of gas, no gas. This does have some corrosion. Basically, this is a big resistor. It changes the... Might not be using the right terminology here. It has a little strip, and it basically changes the ohm load in this to tell you if you're full or not. So what you can do to see if this work is still in good shape is you get you a multimeter, put it on the ohms. Some of them have a beep when they go beep. As you move this, your numbers should move up and down. If they're moving, it's working. Beep. If it's not moving, buy you another one. So I'm gonna clean this one up. I'm gonna test it, see if it's working. If it's working, it's going back in the tank. If not, we're gonna get a new one. I went to Harley. They wanted almost $300 for just this. Just the pump. Not even this.
Just the pump.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, are you Harley lovers? Are you Harley haters? Harley makes Harley. They make your motors, things like that. Harley don't make fuel pumps. Harley don't make blinker switches. Harley don't make starters. They like to say it's theirs, but they didn't make it. Some other company is making that. I went online, did a lot of research. Technicians from Harley, carport guys like us, 90% of them recommend this Quantum brand. We paid around $200. We get the pump, we get the filter, we get the fuel regulator, we get the hoses, you get new wiring, you get the gasket. It's got multiple socks because this goes in different bikes. Do your research before you just go out and buy Harley junk. I love Harleys to death, but I'm not paying, makes no sense to pay $300 just for a pump. And it's not Harley. I'm not gonna go buy no knockoff Harley motor, but I will buy my fuel pump and components like that from somewhere else. Just do your research, just like anything else. You pay $25 for this pump, you're wasting your time. Get what you pay for. This here has the filter in it, and it's got the regulator. We got to pull this apart, change everything out, clean it up. This is your fuel pump housing and your sock. We got to pull this apart. We got to clean it up. New pump goes in. I'm going to show you guys all how to do that. I don't know what this is. Pretty sure it's some kind of check valve, VCV valve. Check valve. We're gonna check it, make sure it's good. Seems to be pretty simple. We might take it apart, clean it up. If not, we're gonna buy a new one. We're gonna clean this bracket up. Underneath here, this is your fuel inlet or outlet. It's a fitting kind of like on your air hose. This is part of your fuel sending unit. These two lines right here are the devil, literally. Satan put these on here. These are your equalizer tank because your pump pumps from like back here. This just keeps them equalized. But what sucks is this line goes under the down tube on the bike. So when you got to take this off, you've got to pull the line that connects these apart. And if you got gas in here, best thing to do really is to clamp the line on each side with some vice grips and then cut the line, pull it apart. That way you only spill a little bit, make you a union. About all I know how to do. Normally I just rip it off and get fuel everywhere because we all like the taste and smell and yeah. So that's what we're gonna do in this video, switching gears a little bit. I'll show you guys that we don't just work on bag trucks, we work on Harleys. We work on every brand name junk right here at Carport Customs.
Disclaimer, he wasn't lying about Harley being high dollar. Harley Davidson, or HD, does not stand for Harley Davidson. It stands for high dollar.
But yeah, we're gonna work on this junk, show y'all how to work on it. Hopefully we'll get some traffic from you Harley lovers or you Harley haters, either way.
Idiots.
If y'all are in our area, Calcasieu Parish, Southeast Texas, Southwest Louisiana, y'all want to do some riding, some motorbiking, holla at us. We both got bikes. We got some other homeboys that's got bikes. We like to ride. All right, so y'all see all that prettiness in there? That's the new tank liner in there. Got it all lined up. That's your fuel filter housing, fuel regulator. This is the piece that goes on the top. Goes right there like that. This piece here holds your fuel regulator and everything. What I did was I got my multimeter out. You can see inside here, it's just a two pin. It comes into here. Just for lack of not having enough hands, I'm gonna stick one in here so we can get on one leg of this. You can see right here, this is the little deal that it rides on. That's what's gonna change the ohm load. So what we're gonna do is we got one connected down here. We're gonna connect the other one up here. As you can see, yep, see it moving? See the ohm loads changing, getting higher. So it starts out, it's around 4 or 5 or 54 or so. And then as you go up, what this is telling me, there's a little corrosion on here, but it's in good shape. Don't know how this comes apart really. I'm sure there's some way to tighten all this up. So I'm gonna clean it up, tighten it up, make sure she stays good and working. Fuel pump. This is your fuel pump housing. All of this, you gotta keep. That's gotta go back in the bike. You can see here, you just push these tabs in, pull the cap off.
Yummy.
Bob's your uncle. There's your piece. Yeah. Yeah. This piece is gonna come off. You're gonna reuse all of this. You gotta reuse this piece too. So all this, ethanol fuel, people, keep using it. We're gonna make it work. We gotta make it work at this point because I don't know if you can even get all of this. Ethanol hates rubber. Ethanol hates plastic. So they give you hoses, but they don't give you these quick connect pieces that clamp in everywhere. This should have a rubber O-ring in it right here. It's in there. Haha. The new tubes don't come with these on the end, so we're gonna have to cut our tube off of this and reuse it. They're plastic tubes. Cut your tube off of here, squeeze this on. You might have to heat it up a little bit, but back what we were doing. So we took all this apart. Don't need this filter. We're gonna be changing this filter. Pull that off. We're gonna get our new pump. Voila! This piece has got to go back on. Slide our pump ski in. Putting this bottom clip back on, which is gonna help hold the pump in, and it's gonna help hold all this rubber together anyway. Let's get our filter, proper filter. So this is how our filter connects on. This one is slightly different. Should fit in the tank. We'll slap this bad boy on here and make it happen, Captain. There we go. Pump assembly's done. Ready to go back in the bike. There's some clips inside. You'll see how this goes in, where these pieces slide in and the pump sets. You'll notice that when you take it apart, put it back in the same way you pulled it out. On your filter housing, you got this metal clip that's got to come out. It's got a piece that you got to pull down right here, and then you just slide it out. Once you slide it out, top comes off. There's your filter. Oh, whew, that was horrible. New filter and new O-ring. Change your O-rings, people. Don't be scared. Pop her in there. Put the new O-ring on top. It's got notches and stuff. It can only fit one way. Push it down. It's gonna have to be all the way down, or this clip won't go back in. Then you just slide the clip back in from the back. Once you get it through the back, you can push down on the front. Be careful, don't break it. Fly, fly. Alright, so we kind of have everything back in. You can't really see it down in this corner. If you're sitting on the bike on this side, the sending unit has a clip that goes in right here and it just slides in there. The actual fuel pump goes on this other side. You got to snake it in here. Pump sitting inside like this here. It has a bracket that comes over and it clips in right there. This bracket here bolts in. It goes under there. This goes under there. But it bolts in right there, and that holds the check valve for the vent. I hope y'all can hear this. Listen. Woo! That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of success. That means I am a Harley technician. Not really. It just means I know how to change a pump out in a Harley and make it work. Gave her a little wash down. Cleaned up pretty good. She fires right up.
fly.